What up? What up? Once again, it's your boys, Bi7gs and your man CyOp coming back at you with another edition of the Debug Build. What's been going on with your CyOp?
I'm still learning. No, that's what Nelly Fuller says. No, that's actually a powerful statement. I'm still learning. Just think about it. Every day you wake up and you're trying to learn something new about the world.
I personally have a statement where I go, a day where you didn't learn something is a day wasted.
Yes.
I wholeheartedly believe that. So we're ready to get into the news for the day. So every damn body in the world is talking about this. And you being a developer, we definitely want to get your opinion on this. Log4j. And for those that don't understand, let me just break it down to you. So basically, we have a utility that was built, I believe it was in the early 2000s. This utility was used to log things within Java. Now, what has happened was this was a free build that some community volunteers put together. When they put this thing together, it was, hey, it's a nice thing to have. And in the open source, if I can talk today, in the open source world, people have started to develop their technologies and they integrated this into their application. So you got layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of this. And this has been floating around the internet for years, but somebody decided to go, oh, look at that. So now you got tons of support and security staff trying to figure out if it's in their environment, where it is, and if they disable it, will it cause problems in their environment? So CyOp, you a developer, why would you use this, or why would you let this happen as things go up the stack?
Well, it's not so much letting things happen. It's, all software has bugs. There's no software that exists that doesn't have bugs. Even a Hello World program most likely got a bug. So
he said, "Hello World." Oh, we could just put print anything in this bitch and it'll work.
No, I'm talking about it's just software, and if you're going to be using a tool or utility or something of that nature, you need to get on GitHub and make sure your developers are doing steady check-ins. And also, if you're a corporation or a user that's selling this stuff or putting a product to sell commercially, it behooves you to donate to these projects. So the
hold on, say that word again. Say that word again. I want to hear it. I want to hear it again.
It behoove you.
Behoove.
Yeah, it behoove you to
because
donate to these projects so the developers can work on that full time. Like if they just a weekend warrior, okay, the whole JavaScript ecosystem are messed up, but I get to it on Saturday when I got some time.
Yeah, the kids going to Chuck E. Cheese today. I'm gonna work on it when I get home. Then the wife want to say something. She looking at you in a certain kind of way. You're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna have to wait to deal with that. But as I was reading about it, and it was just like, and maybe you can help me out because I'm not really big in the open source community. But one of the things that I personally just thinking about is if I build a project that builds upon yours, should your project notate that it has this or all the builds and utilities that are contained within?
It don't work like that. You run a dependency checker against your code.
I mean, I was just wondering because now it's like everybody and their mom right now they're looking like, oh crap, we're running through our environment trying to figure out where this all exists.
You know how if I were using I wish I could bring up my work computer and show you, but if I use an open source project, I always pull the code. Like
when you say pull the code, you mean what could you go through what you're saying?
You just go to the Git repository and download it. So
okay,
you download. So that means when Log4j happened, I could have went in, fixed the problem in my version of Log4j, and put that in the product and kept life moving.
So let me ask you a question. So if you I'm going to just throw it out there because once again, I'm not super big in the open source community. If let's say on your instance, they say, here's the workaround, here's a temporary fix. right? You throw it out there, you fix yours. But then the community says, hey, we have, patch 9.1.5, and then you do like I cannot think of the command to
Cool.
you pull it, gzip or whatever it is, it down from wherever the repository is, right? Will it in turn overwrite your changes?
No. That's not. So it depends on how you do your pull request. If you take a PR, a pull request, if you take a PR, you merge it in, yeah, it has a chance of affecting what you did. But normally what would happen is you would slipstream a fix in for your shit, and then you wait for the official patch to come out, and then go back to the official patch.
Well, yeah, because I'm just, like I said, reading it. It is everybody and their mom is trying to figure out. They're sorting, like, hit you with the old school strike. This application is like a layer. They're peeling everything back, just peeling it, trying to find out at what layer that this may have been injected. Because it seems like to me when I read it, it's like now you tell me if I'm right or wrong, but is this like a core part of Apache?
I don't think so. It's just a logger. No, it's in the Apache directory. Yeah, this is a part of Apache, a core part of Apache.
So that means, all right. So anybody out there, you listening to this, if you run an Apache, you damn sure better check. I think they have put out maybe 2, maybe even 3 small. I think they put out a major update and a couple of small ones because they was like, oh, this ain't enough. So CyOp. So yay or nay, is this was this vulnerability? Is it on the developers or is it on the applications that incorporated it into their code?
I'm going to blame the applications. Yeah, I'm talking about you can't just willy nilly put other people's code in your shit and expect everything to be cool at the end of the day.
So it belongs to them. So I want to go to the next topic that we have for the day, for the week, and this was something that I actually experienced personally this weekend. This is reported by Wired, and we're talking about how smartphones are attacks on the poor. I didn't understand this until I actually read the article, and basically what they're saying is, as a poor person, you are required to have a cell phone in your everyday life. Like in the article, one of the things that they talked about was there's a person that their boss would intermittently say, hey, I need you to come in today. Well, hell, then they would text it to them, but it's like, well, hell, I wasn't on the schedule. I had other things planned. So how can I come in? And they're even talking about managing. Now you have a higher cell phone plan. You have trying to manage 2 different phones because one is cracked and you're accessing, phone messages over here on this phone. You're making calls on this. So, CyOp, you tell me, are smartphones really and truly attacks on the poor?
Yeah. Well, anything you need to function in society essentially becomes a tax. Even the cost of your groceries and food, that's a tax.
Well, I don't know, because isn't, at least in the state where we live,
it's semantics. I'm just
okay.
saying, like, in the larger scheme of things, at the governmental level, all this stuff is taxes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody gotta kick it up, but I actually felt this in a certain way because I personally, over the weekend, I had to help my pops who had a dumb phone, and it was not a smartphone, and he had to upgrade, and he is very comfortable with a regular standard flip top phone. Well, come to find out that basically they told him, yeah, we'll give you a smartphone for free, but if you want another flip top phone, oh, well, we're only going to give you $200 off of that. And then on top of that, you got to pay the tax on that phone. So I was like, hold on. So you're going to charge him tax on a $200 phone, whereas a $700 phone you would just give to him. That makes no sense to me.
Well, it's all about how the deal's structured, though. You're just looking at it from a retail standpoint. You walked in, they got 2 different phones. One's X amount, one's $700, like you said. And they say, we give you $200 off of this one, and you get this one for free. And in your mind, well, shit, why should I have to pay anything for the $200 phone? Well, they're not the same. They're not the same phone. So you don't know what their cost of goods were. Their cost for that $200 off phone.
Well,
Trust
the
me,
way that I think of
if they could give you that phone for free, they just give it to you.
Well, see, the way that I think of it is kind of like supporting legacy technology. At some point you do in turn have to, like take for example, I could not off the top of my head, I could not tell you of a dial-up modem, right? Or a dial-up service. But I would probably bet you that dial-up services may be more expensive than what they were back in the late 90s, because to keep that service up with the amount of people using it, the cost per user is probably a lot higher.
Well, well, hell, if you can find a landline. But like back so remember when I first started, this is before the notes acceleration software. I was actually working on a comm server, and basically the product basically was a PC, off the shelf PC. You remember those ISA slots?
No.
We not even going PCI.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you would load this thing up with like these boards they're basically little modems, and you would load this comm server up with a bunch of these modem boards, and then our software pretty much just controlled that whole stack. So, basically we had a board for everybody that worked at the company, because we were down in to work.
I mean, it's just one of those things to where when you have, lower cost technology, legacy technology that you want to keep running, but at some point, and I'll leave you with, I'll throw this at you, CyOp, as a final topic here. At what point do you decide that, hey, it is no longer worth it for us to continue to support this hardware? Hey, you got to upgrade, or you got to go.
It depends on your cellular network. So
no, I'm not talking about this.
Okay, let's take Manaus. I went down to the Amazon rainforest in Manaus in Brazil. I was putting in a 4G network parallel with a 2G 3G network. The 2G 3G network was getting phased out while the 4G was going in. I'm sure that there's no 2G 3G left in that little area I was in. Because the 4G is it's a lot cheaper to manage and run and everything else, and you get better performance. Packets are smaller. Well, actually, I won't say smaller. The packets are more condensed.
All right. So we'll leave it at this. Smartphones are taxed on the poor, yay or nay?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's taxed on the poor.
All righty, sir. So you ready to get into the deep dive, young man? You ready for the CyOp?
Sure.
All right. This is the deep dive. Yo, we back. We ready for that deep dive. What you got for us this week, CyOp? Everybody wanted sex, but what you gonna give us today?
Okay. This week's Technocracy subject is education.
Oh, you gonna teach us something? You gonna learn us something today, huh?
So, yep. So, our classic definitions of education and what education actually is aren't really eye to eye. Right now, we think that, you go to education or you go into certain fields because you want to learn something, blah, 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 blah. Which at the end of the day, we don't even have a liberal arts education anymore. It's mostly technical education. You go to school, you get a STEM degree, or, you get some certs, or, it's all just how to tinker with the system.
Right. Tinker.
Yeah. So, in other countries, like, the Russia of the 80s, that was, I guess you could consider that it was state capitalist, but at the end of the day, it was kind of technocratic. in that it was centrally planned. In China, you could think of that as technocratic because it's centrally planned. But as I was telling you, when we get to governance, and politics, that's when we can break down why China and Russia were not technocratic. Because, I'm more of an anarcho-capitalist. Basically, I want to push all the voting power down to the local locales, and then have the elites of those various areas kick up to a central council, and the central council's job is to
Did you say elites of the local council?
The elites of the area, the locale.
Okay, all right. Want to make sure.
Yeah, because take a city like let's say Springboro. You probably have like Jeff Walker, dude. I think Bob Rose live down there. They'd be running stuff. They're racking in millions. So they wouldn't necessarily be running stuff, but everybody would do their votes, kick up to them, and basically they'd be the influencers. Saying,
so in other words, the people listening to what he say.
Yeah, he's local. Like Joe Biden on TV and talk about everything he's gonna do, but now you got Joe Manchin stopping him. In this arena, Joe Manchin wouldn't be able to stop him because power is really in the people's hands. All you're doing is filtering it up. Instead of power filtering down from the top, you're sending it up from the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, but in short, our current form of education is really a two-pronged system. You have the technical aspect of it, then you have the indoctrination aspect of it. Like you got even economists. I listen to like far right, far left economists. I kind of see what the mainstream is talking about, but they just a mouthpiece for everybody else. But remember, these economists that are getting these accolades and all that stuff, they are essentially tasked with indoctrinating the youth that are coming to get trained.
Whoa. Because when you talk about indoctrinating the youth, the first thing that comes to mind
Plato.
To me, no. I was actually thinking
not Plato, but Socrates.
No, not Socrates. I was thinking more on the lines of the Hitler youth.
Oh, no. That's different. We can get into that down in war.
I was going to say because
that's week number 9.
Because when you say indoctrination, the more and more I think about it is, and I'm sorry if I kind of derail you for a little bit, but I think about indoctrination of when you go to a school and because you already spoke about liberal arts. A lot of times there's no liberal arts because there's really no money in liberal arts, right? But there's a need for liberal arts. So you indoctrinate people to say, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, and they just go 2, 2, 2. But they don't just say, why is 1 + 1 = 2? They don't have the freedom to think outside the box. They don't think why. They just accept, and you really need to start asking the question why. And I think that a lot of it. So, all right, sorry, I'm gonna divulge it just a tad bit. So one of the things that I've learned is I've seen numerous videos on the internet of, have you seen the video where they show it was like a number, multiplied by a number. And then they showed the way that we learned it, which was you take this number, you multiply, you draw a 0, number, you add them up, boom. And then they have I think it's like core math or something where you draw Common Core, right? Now, and we talked about, and then they will simply go, when you show your work, you have to show your work this way when you get to the same answer. So when you say indoctrination, that's what I think.
All education is indoctrination. Indoctrination just means you're being brought into a system.
I mean, that's what I would just look at it is there's multiple ways to reach the same conclusion. Does it actually work? Yay or nay? And so
literally the way our education system is set up is it's class based. It's tiered.
Okay.
So you remember the other day we were having the conversation about billionaires' kids, and I said they wouldn't they don't understand reality.
Correct.
Think about it, nobody's ever said no to them. They never not gotten what they wanted,
except for Pops. Pops may have said no.
No, Pops. He's probably him. Their parents is probably the only people in the world that would tell them no.
Okay.
We're talking a billionaire, not some dude that's just rich.
Oh,
we're talking about the ultra wealthy, the elite.
Okay.
These people don't get on regular planes. They fly private everywhere. You know, it's like you just wall it off.
So, in other words, TSA don't apply to them.
No, they go to the Clearport. Y'all go to the airport. They go to the Clearport.
First of all, if you're going to use that, you're going to need to cite the great prophet Sean Carter for that.
Yeah. Actually, I think that was Ye.
No, it was Sean. You know, I don't call it the Clearport. I don't call it the airport. I call it the Clearport. That was excuse me, miss. I think that was the sonnet that was sung in. Thank you.
Yeah, but no. So in a technocracy, the first thing you'd have to do is bring the global standard for education up to a minimum level. You'd have to provide resources, and again, remember rule number one: the people that need the most help get the most help first. So you're going to be revamping your education system in the developed world while building in the developed world.
So let's just put that in modern terms. So in rural areas, you're going to bring, or at least bring that level of education up to a quote unquote standard. Then developing countries, you're going to turn around and say, hey, you guys don't have anything. So let's go ahead and start building it so that where you may not be up to the level of here, we're going to start you with something so that we can at least get you up to that level. Yeah,
well, let's take El Salvador. You know, they flipped a bunch of Bitcoin, and the first thing they're doing is opening up a bunch of schools, and they're going to basically indoctrinate their kids into the technical system. So I look at El Salvador in the future being a player in technology.
Well, I definitely will say the fact that they're adopting Bitcoin. Am I right when I say they're adopting Bitcoin as their national currency?
No, it's just it's recognized as legal tender by the government.
Okay, legal tender, which means that, by the way, that you could buy something at one point and then it will fall in value, but it could also appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but that's what the Lightning Network is for. Just think about it as like a snapshot stable on Bitcoin.
All right. Okay.
But you made me lose my train of thought. No, we were talking about
the bringing the level of education up in third to fourth.
Yeah. So so also you can't view education in the sense that you know it now. Like kids would actually learn a lot better if you plopped them all down in a room and gave them all laptops and had digital game or had gamified.
Oh, so dude! Oh my God! Could you imagine if we had like military leaders and when we were playing like Warcraft back in the day? If you'd had those leaders understanding you have a limited amount of resources, a limited amount of things, and here's the goal that you need to accomplish with these limited resources. Oh my God, if you gamify it, kids would learn a lot better because they see it more as a reward system, as in versus, oh God, I gotta go home and do homework.
Oh no, nobody wants to learn calculus, which. Guys, learning calculus isn't hard. It's like literally 7 different equations. If you remember those, you quote unquote know calculus. You won't understand how it works, but you'll know calculus. You'll be able to solve equations.
What the fuck, dude? How you gonna say you know 7 things, dude? Look. Let me tell you something.
Calculus breaks down into 7 rules.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
That's algebra.
Hold on. There is another one that's floating around up there. A plus or minus. Oh my god. The Pythagorean theorem.
You gotta think of dy dx. This is derivatives and integrals, stuff of that nature.
Nope, that's what we got guys like you for.
It's easy stuff. If people were taught this stuff right, like literally when you go to the top schools, like the private schools, and so, they teach the kids those equations. They don't really go into, well, this is how we came up with it. They like, this is sort of how we came up with it, but at the end of the day, you run these rules and you write these answers down.
I mean, so in other words, so let me just throw this one out there at you. So, all right, I'm going to take you back in your memory. You tell me if this happened to you. Do you remember doing division when you were, I don't know, 3rd, 4th grade, and they would tell you show your work?
No, not really.
Okay, so you know, like the way that I was taught, you draw the little symbol and then you go.
Yeah, I'm talking about. I remember doing long division. I just don't.
Yeah, they would say show your work.
Oh yeah. You do. If you're doing long division, the long division on paper, yeah, you got to show your work. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get there.
So do you know why? You know, I learned this later on in life, but do you know why they wanted us to show our work?
To show so they can. Well, it should have been to tap into our thought process.
No, you know what? This is my thought. My thought was because, you know, once again, this was back in the 80s. Shit. Well, but back then it was like, you're never going to always have a calculator, so you need to know how to do it the long way and show your work for understanding. And I you know what? I appreciate that nowadays for understanding because, you know, don't get me wrong, you got a cell phone, you got a watch, everything is ubiquitous in having those devices handy. But could you imagine having, you know, if you didn't understand the math, like hell, you're a coder. Could you imagine somebody just saying, "Oh, here's an API, go do this," without you actually understanding what's going on? Because you could have taken that and adopted the other things.
Most of the time, your APIs, basically, you get an interface, which is the stuff you're passing to the function or the API, so to speak, and then there's a write-up that says, okay, you know, it's a developer's contract, basically.
But basically, you understand what's happening under the covers, and in theory,
well, no, you don't understand what's happening under the covers.
Oh,
you know what your outcomes will be, but you don't know how they wrote that code.
Oh, in other words, they're indoctrinating you, saying you use this and you know what you should get on the other end, but you don't know what's actually happening.
No, these functions are determinate. Given, so you're gonna have a range of values. Right.
So
let's say you go with integer numbers. So you start at 0, go to infinity. Or your computer doesn't have infinity memory. So you're going to have some upper limit. So you're going to test the upper limit, 0, past a negative number, something past the upper limit, and then you might write like a script program to run through. If it's not a lot of numbers, you might run through all of them. It just depends on what problem you're solving.
So we're about out of time for today, but you know what? So I'm going to throw this out there at you because CyOp, I definitely want to talk to you more about on this education tip. Would you be willing to come back on our next show and continue the education? Because I want to go deeper into this with you.
Yeah. I like the back and forth conversations.
All right, so all right, everybody. So next,
if the fans want, we can live stream one.
Oh, and we'll throw it out there. Oh, I don't know if we want fan participation. They might ask you to start stripping.
We're live streaming.
I don't know. They might ask you to start stripping or something. You know, you never know what might happen. Have you not seen what happened?
They don't want to see all this belly. No, actually, I'm looking kind of.
Look, I don't think I think it's a little bit below the belly they want to see, Playboy. But that's premium content, $9.99 per minute. Because I ain't gonna have you out here doing that shit for free.
Anyway, that's OnlyFans.
Look, that's CyOp After Dark. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that's a nice way to segue to Tech Tales. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay, so
What we back with this week's Tech Tales, and we got that with CyOp. We got a good one. It involves your boy Bi7gs and CyOp, and we're gonna debate if it's theft or not. So go ahead, CyOp. Tell him the lie you're gonna tell him.
Picture it. Dayton, Ohio, 1998.
Did you just Golden Girls me? Was that what you just
Yes,
said?
I did. All right, so
Okay.
you know we gamers. So Big would be at my house spending the night, and we got the PlayStation down there. So us being, I had a network in my basement and dial-up internet. Actually, it was dial-up back then.
So hold on. Let's take a step back. So the Thomas Kennards, that's a topic for a different day.
No.
We're gonna bring that one up.
I'm just saying we had tech, is what I'm saying. So
Right.
So we go look up how to basically jailbreak a PlayStation. Like, you can burn the disc and put them in.
Oh yeah, the mod chips.
Yeah,
the mod
so we
chips.
went and looked at the mod chips. You had to solder them in. My soldering skills still suck. So I opened up this.
Come on with it. Look, yeah. Come on. I'm waiting.
I opened up the PlayStation. I'm soldering. I know I burnt the fucking breadboard.
Well, hold on. Whoa. Let's take a step back. I said, hey man, do you know how to solder? This motherfucker tell me, yeah, I know how to do it. I do it all the time.
No, I've been soldering, but not electronics. Like, remember, I used to help my Uncle Willie, like, with art and fixing his stuff. But it wasn't delicate electronics. So I held the gun on too long, burn the chip. But I'm like, okay, it ain't that bad. Man, I got this big glob of solder on the. It just looked bad. It was horrible. I'm looking at this like shit. Okay, so we
hold on. He looking at it like shit. I'm looking at it like, yeah, he know what he's doing. This look good.
So
yeah, we about to play some burn games. Hell yeah.
So we burned up games and all this shit. I'm destroying the goddamn PlayStation essentially. So we go out, time to power it on. Moment
shit.
Put a game in, turn on the power. We hear this. I'm talking about, it sounds like an airplane taking off. So I'm listening, I'm looking. PlayStation vibrating a little bit, so, we open the top. This fucking disc is in there going 1,000,000 miles per hour. I'm telling you, the disc it spit out the disc at me. I'm telling you, it did.
No, hold on. So at this point, hold on. I know it's his tail, but let me just point something there. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this damn thing was $399.99 plus tax. How in the hell am I gonna tell my damn daddy that I done messed up $400 of his money? So I'm over here like, oh my God, what we gonna do?
That's one thing about me. I always know a guy, or I know how to do some stuff. So I had a little gig that sold PlayStations. So what I did was I bought a PlayStation, swapped them out, and returned the one with the disc, the breadboard.
Man, why are you? No. That is so. No. See you.
Buy a secondary PlayStation.
You did not. All right, people. Let me tell you what the fuck really happened.
Okay,
so let me tell you what happened.
That's why I got the PlayStation. How do you think that works?
Let me tell you. Hold on. All right. So let me give you the POV from what it seemed like for me. We walk into this retail store, right? He walks in because he was employed at said retail store. He walks in. Here's my phone, but this is a PlayStation. This dude walk in. Well, he did walk to the back. He walks in with a PlayStation. He comes back out front. No PlayStation, but this is not like today where things are scarce. This is back when things are plentiful. There's a big pile of PlayStation boxes. He grabs a PlayStation box.
Oh, I didn't do that, didn't I?
He walks to the back.
I swapped them, but I did not put that damn PlayStation back on the pop. I took it to customer service
hold on.
and told them it was defective.
Hold on. No, nope. So then he walks to the back with this box. It says PlayStation, Sony PlayStation. Walks to it, right? Walks to the back. Walks back up front with a PlayStation box. Put it back on the damn tower of boxes there. Walks back to the back. Comes back with a PlayStation, said, let's ride. Now, people, you tell me, is that a damn theft or not?
I returned the defective PlayStation. I returned it. I did not put it on a pile. Like, dude, the last thing I wanted to do was to have an open box in a pile. And first of all, the customers there would have noticed that. And second of all, the last thing I want to do is have a bad PlayStation go to somebody's house and get a complaint.
No.
The guy at customer service, well, I pretty much told him what was going on.
I don't know. Look, I don't know what happened, but when you went back, all I know from my standpoint, I said CyOp is a freaking godsend, because now I ain't got to tell my damn daddy that I done messed up $400 of his money.
You remember how much money I used to make them on every weekend? I only worked 2 days a week in hh school.
Guys, let me tell you something.
They didn't care.
So let me tell. I know we're gonna expand this just a little bit. So CyOp, big box store, salesman. This dude was. I'm sorry. I love you. You're my brother. This dude was a shyster to the fullest when it came to them back in them days. This dude would tell people, like, it would buy a monitor and say the monitor came with, let's say, a 2-year warranty. Oh, no, it has a 3-year warranty. He would say, look, I'm going to discount this computer, but you got to buy the 5-year warranty on the monitor, right? And people thinking, oh, I got 8 years on this monitor. No, you got 5.
Hey, if you looked at the way I was running margin, basically,
I know when you was running. You was running it. Oh, don't get me wrong, dude. That is why to this day, when CyOp gets to talking to me, I be like, "Hey, man, look, don't get to talking that shit." Cause that was look. That is why he laughed. To this day, I be like, "Don't start talking that shit," because I know what he used to do to them people back then, and I
was getting legit deals. The thing was, you didn't understand the numbers.
Go ahead. Explain the numbers. Go ahead.
Okay. Say if you're coming to buy a PC.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Say you're coming to buy a PC. Now, this is back in the days when PCs cost a lot. Say a PC costs $3,000, right?
$3,000. Okay.
All right. Say a 5-year warranty costs $600, right?
$600. Okay.
So the first thing I'm trying to do is give you a $500 discount to get, and you pay $100 for the warranty. If I'm pushing over an 18% margin, I'm gonna just tell you, you know what? You were such a good customer. I'm just, I enjoyed your company, blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to throw this in for free. Because they thought I got paid off of the value of the computer, the commission. No, I got paid for moving them damn warranties out the door.
Mm-hmm.
So
so in other words,
I basically selling a $3,000 computer for $3,000, and then give them a 5-year warranty with it.
Now, granted, this being 1998, I'm not even looking at the camera because I can't even look at your ass right now. I can't even do it. Because I know you're full of crap.
I'm not full of crap. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, man?
No, what's wrong with it? Look, dude.
They have margin, and that salesperson.
No, hold on. So let me tell you something. So I'm just gonna tell you this: every time when you talk about them retail box days, is the damn monitor warranty. That is the one that sticks in my head.
Dude, I gave the warranty away for pretty much free.
But on the other end, those people think they had a freaking 10-year warranty on the monitor.
I told them that it says right on the thing that it runs out.
Those warranties were running concurrent. They were not consecutive. And that is what I always remember.
So here's the deal, though. So in those first 2 years when you got the manufacturer warranty, if you got the CompuSafe, it's CompuSafe back in the day.
I'll beep that out. Yeah, look, I'll beep that one out.
Warranty, you can just come drop, your PC messed up and it's got to go back to the manufacturer. For one, they would use their guys internal to fix it because the company would give kickbacks if they fix it local. Like, say if you bought an NEC, remember those? The Next.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah. So you bought an NEC, Packard, Bell, Nasty Dale.
Oh,
that stuff. You get the warranty on it. When it messes up, it will mess up. You bring it in, and they're either gonna replace it right there on the spot with something the same equivalent value or more if they got to, or they'll ship it back to the company, which they very rarely did that. Normally as they'd pull it in, bench test the bench tech to look at it, he'll see what's wrong. If it was something that required a reasonable amount of work, he'd just fucking say send this to the cage and give him another one.
Oh, I'm just saying. All I know is
now. Imagine if you don't have a warranty. Now you got to go try to deal with NEC to get your computer fixed.
Well, I ain't worried about that. All I just know is it was when that day when you sold them people 5 years worth of warranty, worth of shit. See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why to this day. All right, no, hold on. I want to let our audience know. I want to let our audience know. So from here on out, episode 3 of the Debug Build. Whenever you hear me say CyOp, stop talking that shit. This is where it come from. I want y'all to know that. So now you got a basis for what we talk about. Stop talking that shit.
I'm saying, like, I mean, people get deals. This is the best deals is when both people win.
No, because the company lost.
The company did lose.
Yeah, they did. You cut their margin from 18 to 2.
No, I was actually cutting their margin down to 18.
So, but look, man. So, look. Once again, see, he's trying to talk that shit on me now. Look. We don't even want to talk about that. All right, everybody.
If I needed to spike margin,
no.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get you some printer cables. Like you go hit that whole cable out. That was a straight margin.
Oh God, LPT. Anyway, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us with episode 3 of the Debug Build. We're gonna be out. We're gonna start it back up next year. CyOp and I got families and whatnot that we got to deal with. Feel free to reach out to us. Bi7gs, Instagram, Twitters. Email. Hit us up. Email us at thedebugbuild@gmail.com. CyOp, how can they get a hold of you?
Cash me outside.
Oh my God. All right, everybody. We're going to see us in a couple of weeks. See us in New Year. Everyone have a happy and safe holiday. And so CyOp, I got to ask, what's your sign off for the rest of the year?
I haven't thought about it really.
Oh, well, you cash you outside. All right, everybody. You guys have a wonderful...
Oh, no, this is the last show before the end of the year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we go with Cash Me Outside. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Y'all guys have a wonderful and happy... See, gotta be predictable because he be talking that shit. All right, everybody. You guys have a wonderful, safe holiday. We'll catch you next year, and we out.
All right, peace.